I don't know if this will break your heart or this will inspire you, but I want to talk about two signs you are not ready to be an entrepreneur. I think that this is very, very important because I have seen a lot of people, so many people who desire to start businesses, but I feel like they are not ready for it, or there are many things that they do not understand about starting and building a business. In the previous episode, we looked at the foundations for business longevity, what it takes to really build a business that can stand the test of time, not a business that will start today and fail next week or next month or next year, but a business or your entrepreneurial journey that when you start, you can still be in the game 10 to 20 years from now. Why not? Right? So today, I want to talk about the two signs you are not ready for entrepreneurship. Yes. Two signs you are not ready for entrepreneurship. And these two signs may challenge somebody who is already in business or in entrepreneurship, and maybe you are struggling, and these two signs are still very powerful in your life. The point is, if these two signs are louder in your life, if these two signs are more prominent in your life, it will be difficult for you to even start, or when you start, it will be difficult for you to build, right? So, and if you listen to this and these two signs are still very prominent, don't start yet. One of your major goals should really be to make up your mind to address these signs. And when I say don't start, it's not like don't really start, because these signs, you need to understand them and make up your mind that this, I am aware of these signs, and if I am starting with a mindset that I know what I'm getting into, and I have identified these two signs, and I have made up my mind that these two signs will not stop me from building the dream I want to build, right? So let's get briefly into these two signs, right? You see, the first sign I want to talk about is, if you are thinking of starting a business or you have started a business, and the thought of looking foolish terrifies you, you are not ready for entrepreneurship. In other words, if you are not ready to look foolish, or even for people to call you foolish, if you are too terrified to look foolish, entrepreneurship is not your thing yet. Yes. Do you know why? Because in entrepreneurship, there are many things that you will be doing for the first time, and you will probably get many things wrong. And it only takes somebody who is willing to be foolish before they get it right to really build a business, right? So if the thought of looking foolish before the public, looking foolish before clients, looking foolish before your colleagues, or looking foolish before even the employees that work with you, if you have a team by that time, terrifies you, you need to work on your mindset. You need to get into entrepreneurship and be very comfortable at being a fool. But the good news is, with that entrepreneurial mindset, you use the things that make you foolish and you become very wise, and you build an incredible business. This is the secret. You are ready to be a fool or to look foolish for a short period of time so you can become wise for a long period of time, right? And even if you have been in entrepreneurship for 10, 20 years, there are still things that are going to happen in your life, in your business, that will make you look foolish. But you are already used to that, right? Therefore, that prepares you for those things that The entrepreneurial journey have designed to make you look foolish. But the good news, the goal here is you need to always think at all times like an entrepreneur. Everything to you is a stepping stone for you to build something that will stand the test of time. So if the thought of looking foolish still terrifies you, you may not be ready yet for entrepreneurship, and you need to make up your mind, train your mental pictures, train your emotions, train yourself, speak to yourself, and tell yourself, in this journey I am starting, I am very comfortable at being a fool. I am very comfortable at people mocking at me. I am very comfortable at clients looking at me and say, your product is so bad, your product is so terrible, and I would never buy from you again. You need to be comfortable at hearing things like that. Do one funny thing about entrepreneurship that is, it's a popular slogan in the entrepreneurial world. They always say that if your first product does not embarrass you, it's either you launch too late or too early. What they are indirectly saying is that in entrepreneurship, your first product, your first service, your first package will always look bad. But you need to be comfortable at being that foolish and launching a product that is not perfect and having customers even abuse you, and you focus on taking the lessons, the complaints, and the abuse, and you look foolish before them, and you go back to the drawing board to your research and development and repackage, redesign, work on that product until you get the best product right. So that is the first sign. If you are not ready, if the thought of looking foolish terrifies you, you are not ready to be an entrepreneur. Number two is almost linked to number one, but is a bit separate. I like to put it separate. Number two, if the thought of being publicly embarrassed terrifies you, you are not ready to be an entrepreneur. If the thought of, the business that you start, even destroying your reputation, terrifies you, embarrasses you, you are not ready for entrepreneurship, because anything can happen in entrepreneurship. Anything can literally happen that will lead to public embarrassment, especially in this social media dispensation. 20 years ago, this was not as loud as it is today. We are in a generation where you serve a customer the wrong way, or something funny happens. Before you know it, a customer is having a live video on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and bashing you and talking against you. Before you know it, your pictures are everywhere on social media. This happens, right? So if the thought of publicly being embarrassed terrifies you, you may not be ready for entrepreneurship, because in entrepreneurship, anything can lead to your public embarrassment. But the goal here, as I always tell people, always make sure, do your best to do business from the place of integrity, from the place of do your best. There are some things that may happen out of your control that you cannot control. Do your best to make sure that even if you are publicly embarrassed, you know that you did your best from the place of integrity, from the place of honesty, and from the place of godly values, right? So that even if you are publicly embarrassed, you are at peace with yourself, and you keep on doing your part and advancing your agenda, and of course the business that you want to build. But if in general, if the thought of being publicly embarrassed terrifies you, then you are not ready for entrepreneurship. This goes even for anybody in leadership position, community leadership, leadership in school, leadership in corporate settings, leadership even in church, anywhere you find yourself. As long as you are at the forefront of leading people, one of the things that you should be comfortable with and you should not be afraid of is public embarrassment. Okay? And the foundation is, even though you are conscious of this, you know that my goal, my responsibility as a leader, as an entrepreneur, is to take actions with integrity, with honor, with respect, and with honesty. My goal is to control my actions and not the actions of other people. You cannot stop people from acting the way they want to act. That is outside of your control. You see, so entrepreneurship is challenging, at the same time is inspiring, and is worthy if only you are willing to pay the price. You see, the path of an entrepreneur is paved with different moments where you will need to step outside of your comfort zone and even make mistakes in public, right? There is no entrepreneur that disrupted his or her industry and became successful, a multimillionaire or a billionaire, and very impactful at their comfort zone. No. You can only do great things when you step out of your comfort zone. And the stepping out of your comfort zone can either make you look foolish or embarrass you, but you must be ready to do that. You see, becoming an entrepreneur isn't just about having a brilliant idea or having the right capital. Many people get to think that that is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. It's way beyond that. It's way beyond just having a great idea. It's way beyond just having the right capital. There are a lot of other things that you need to put into place, like what I'm talking about, that emotional intelligence, that mental resilience, that big heart, that thick skin. All of these things are critical, right? You need to be ready to face certain emotional challenges, backstabbing, betrayal, things happening out of your control that there is nothing you can do about except pray for a miraculous intervention, right? So these things get to happen in your entrepreneurial journey, you see. So fear is natural, you see, but you need to train yourself to be comfortable at taking actions in the midst of fear. The truth is, no human being enjoys the feeling of falling short, the feeling of being a failure, especially when the stakes are high, when they are very passionate. But as an entrepreneur, you will face moments where your ideas might not come out as expected. You are going to face moments where you launch a product and the sales are not as good as you expected. You will experience moments where you invite people for your event or for a lunch and nobody shows up. I remember something that happened to me years ago, more than 10 years ago, when I was doing training. When I started my training career, there was a time in Kumbo where I organized for an event on Saturday morning, right? I prepared the hall, did a lot of things. There were even some guys who came to help me prepare the hall and prepare for the event on Friday evening before Saturday morning. And guess what? Saturday morning, nobody showed up. The volunteers that helped me did not show up. And the people I invited, the invitations I sent out, I think I even did radio adverts. Nobody showed up that morning. Nobody showed up. Right? That's embarrassing. That is looking like a fool. But should I stop what I'm called to do or what I believe in because I was embarrassed or nobody showed up to support me? You see, that's entrepreneurship for you. You will face moments where your projects will not pan out, your ideas will not turn out good, your product launch will fail, your marketing strategies are going to mess up, your friends will not show up for you. A lot of things are going to happen, but you must come to a point in your life and in your journey where you have made up your mind that even if it means looking foolish, I will pursue my journey. If I'm embarrassed on Sunday, I will continue hustling and pushing forward on Monday morning. That is our responsibility. Because the key is not to avoid failure. That's the most stupid thing you can do, right? There is nobody, as long as you're a dreamer, you're a builder, you're a visionary, you are a thought leader, you're somebody who likes to disrupt, there is no way you can avoid failure. But the best thing that you need to do is to learn how to learn from failure and use what you're learning to keep building and to keep moving forward, right? Failure should not define you. You should use failure and redefine your journey and build as a wiser person. Okay? So, As I round up, remember that every successful entrepreneur that you can think of started as a beginner. Every single successful entrepreneur you can think of right now, from Nigeria to Cameroon to Ghana to UK to the United States to Canada to Israel to Dubai to Tanzania to Rwanda to Kenya to South Africa, every single entrepreneur, even in your immediate community that you can think of, started as a beginner. And everybody who started as a beginner failed, made mistakes, messed up. Many of their ideas and their products did not pan out. Yes, that's a fact. I'm saying from experience, I'm saying like somebody who likes to study the history of the greats. I have read how Dangote started. I have read how Tony Elumelu started. I've read how Bill Gates started, Elon Musk started, Mark Zuckerberg started, Richard Branson started. I can mention several entrepreneurs and CEOs. I have read how they started. I love to track the history and their patterns and their processes. Every single one of them messed up. They messed up. There was a point in their lives where they looked foolish, they looked stupid, and they were publicly embarrassed and they were laughed at. But today, they are the movers of the economies, they are the shakers of the economy, and they are the disruptors of their various industries. You know why? They are wiser builders today because they were foolish and embarrassed yesterday. You see, you have to start from somewhere. You have to be comfortable at making mistakes and facing setbacks along the way, but your mind and your eyes should stay on the goal. What sets great entrepreneurs apart is their resilience, is their willingness to persist despite potential embarrassment and failure. Let me say that again. What sets great entrepreneurs apart is their willingness. That word, willingness. Every entrepreneur must have what I call a willing spirit. Is the willingness to persist, is the willingness to pursue despite the embarrassment, despite looking foolish, and despite failing. To thrive as an entrepreneur, you must embrace these discomforts. So consider them not as roadblocks. Hear me very well. Consider them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. With each challenge that you face in your entrepreneurial journey, you learn a bit more about running a business. You learn a lot more about yourself. You learn a lot more about the society. You learn a lot more about the economy. You learn a lot more about the customers. You learn a lot more about how to solve problems and how to handle adversity. When you begin to learn these things, you begin to grow wiser. The Bible says a house is built through understanding. That's what I keep saying. When you fail, you grow wiser and you build better. Okay? So, this mindset, I'm telling you, is going to help you excel in your entrepreneurial journey. Do you want to excel in whatever you're building, in your destiny? You need to believe and understand what I'm telling you. And here's one truth. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. That's why I said 2 signs you are not ready for entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It requires a lot. If you don't have a certain level of tolerance for uncertainty, you don't have a certain level of tolerance for discomfort, for looking like a fool, for embarrassment, for failing, you are not ready for it, then entrepreneurship is not for you. But hear this and hear me very, very well. You listening to me, if you can make peace, with the potential that you will look foolish, you'll be embarrassed, and you will have setbacks, but yet you will keep learning and you will keep growing, then I can guarantee you, you are destined for greatness, and there's nothing on the surface of the earth that can stop you from failing, because you have what a lot of people do not have. So take a moment and reflect. Take a moment and reflect. Today, in whatever you do, see the value in every beginner's mistakes. See the value in every foolish thing. See the value in every embarrassment that may come your way. And still feel excited about your future. Still feel excited about your destiny and about your vision. Make up your mind that that which you are set to build and achieve is greater than every embarrassment and foolishness or failure that you will go through. After all, every master you celebrate today was once a beginner. Every master you celebrate today was once looking foolish in front of people. Every great man you celebrate today was once a public embarrassment in front of a group of people. What about you? Take a chance. Start. Fail. Learn. Keep building. Grow wiser. And eventually you will succeed. And someday we'll read about your story and watch you on CNN, on BBC, on Voice of America, on Frank Venkat, on Forbes, on every big platform where they celebrate the great, the titans, the industry disruptors, the shakers, and the movers of the economy. Your dream is possible. Keep dreaming, keep building, because you have it all to make it happen. I hope you are blessed, everybody. I hope you are challenged, inspired, and I know you will never ever remain the same. My name is Javnyuy Joybert. It was so good to have you here. Thank you so much to everybody who is listening, sharing, and inviting people, leaving comments, please. So for of the different countries you're watching from, thank you, God bless you, and of course, looking forward to coming your way again and chit chatting with you. You want to connect with me? You can check out my website joybert.com, or you can DM me on any social media platform, and I will happily respond to you and connect with you. Maybe I may be coming to speak in your city to train and to consult. That's why I like to see people comment from which city and country they are listening from. I like to link up with different people who we connect online, and we bring these relationships to life face to face. It's so beautiful and it's so powerful. God bless you again. Remember, you're rare, you're remarkable, and Jesus loves you.